Whoops. Anyway, delicious, delicious. I love it. The nastiest bitch you've ever met. Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books that I have read recently or DNF'd recently. There's a few of those. As per usual. Reminder that, as always, if you are watching and you watch through and you don't really have anything to add, but you just want to let me know you're watching, you can leave a silly little emoji down below. It's always fun. The first one to talk about is indeed a DNF, and that is The Paragon Hotel by Lindsay Faye. I only got 11% into this. And I wanted to read this because I read Jane Steele by Lindsay Faye a few years back and really enjoyed it. I need to reread it. That one is a young adult reimagining of Jane Eyre. And yeah, I just was like, I really liked it. I want to read more by this author. This one is historical, and I wasn't getting into it, and I'm not sure this author is who needs to be telling this type of story. Just some reviews I saw, I was like, maybe, perhaps not. I'm not saying I think that, like, the author... Did I just delete something? I did. Wow, that's cute. How did I do that? I just deleted, like, 5 pages off of my fucking notebook. Whoops. Anyway... at any rate, yeah, there was something with, like, a trans character later on, and it sounded like a trans character who gets outed, and it's a trans black character. I don't know if they were trans man or trans woman. I'm not totally sure. I don't remember from the review I saw. Who gets outed and then, like, ostracized and, like, kicked out of the community, and just some things which, again, I'm not saying I think this author is, like, a racist or, like, a bigot or so problematic. I don't know. I didn't read the book. I didn't finish it. But it was just some stuff I saw that I was like, I'm good. I'm good, actually. And I wasn't even getting all that gripped by the story anyway, so I felt very fine just being like, yeah, I'm okay. But then I did finish a book. I finished Realm of Ash by Tasha Suri. This is book 2 of this series. What is it? The Books of Amba. The first book being, what's it called? Oh, my sweet baby Jesus. Where are you at? There it is. Empire of Sand. Jesus Christ. Sorry. And this one I didn't love quite as much, which I kind of was expecting just based on what I'd heard about it. A lot of people say that this second book, you kind of can just, like, do without it. They are, like, it's part of a series, a duology, but they are kind of standalones, essentially. Like, you don't have to read this one to read the other one and vice versa. This one I gave 3.5 stars. I love Tasha Suri's writing. I just forever love Tasha Suri's writing. I did enjoy the story overall. It's just not my favorite of hers, which I love, like, everything by her, so, you know, I still really liked it. I just found the plot to be a lot slower and a lot more, like, navel-gazy, I suppose. Even the way the two main characters interacted with each other and, like, their relationship developed felt very, like, existential and airy and just, you know what I mean? What I was talking about in a video I just recorded about, like, moody. And if it's not gothic historical, I don't really want moody. I don't really love moody and very, like, oh, I just feel so strongly about you based on nothing. And, like, talking in vague riddles to each other about philosophizing about what it means to be a person, and just, but not, like, deep, ooh, cool conversations. Like I said, very, like, airy, existential, I don't know. Just wasn't my favorite. I just didn't really quite buy that they fell in love as deeply as they did when they really didn't talk about anything ever, or we as the readers didn't see them talk about anything other than this goal they had. Like, it's cute, I guess, but I just didn't really buy it. So, definitely brought down the enjoyment a bit for me. I did, however, I mean, I only tabbed one thing. There were more examples, but this was just, like, the best example I felt of just Tasha Suri's writing style, her turns of phrase, her use of language, whatever you want to call it. I love it. Right here, she's talking about the main character. She's being sad and her grief, right? For so long, she had run from the true shape of her grief. But in the end, all her efforts had failed her. Her grief was a beast without a leash. Now it hung about her, close and sharp. So good. It's like, mwah. Delicious. Delicious. I love it. Then I finally finished the Jackie Lau Holidays with the Wongs series of novellas, romance, contemporary romance following this family and the siblings in the family and their romantic escapades and like who they get with. And yeah, the last one was a big surprise for Valentine's Day, and it was cute. It was fun. 3.25. None of these have been knocking my socks off or anything. They're novellas. They're contemporary romance. Probably not going to be something that knocks my socks off. But I did enjoy it. It was a fun time. Finished out the series. Love that for me. If you want just like a contemporary romance that is quick, even the whole series, if you read the whole series, it wouldn't take very long probably, that is like cute and heartwarming, but also does have steamy times, then I would recommend. They're not like the steamiest of steam, I don't think. Hello? Hold please. Just had someone knocking at my door. Now, I don't know if my microphone is all crazy again, probably. It's like up in my fucking throat. I don't remember what I was saying. I finished that series. Oh yeah, if you like oh yeah, that it's not the steamiest of the steamies, but like, it was cute, it was fun. Then I randomly picked up, I think this was a Kindle Unlimited, Room 10, Praise Times 3 by Cameron Clare, contemporary romance. It's like kidnapping trope, polyamorous trope, 3 dudes and 1 girl, praise kink, and like sex club thing. It was a novella. It was fine. It was cool. Steamy times were steamy and sexy. Plot was kind of whatever. I don't know. That's generally how I kind of feel about like novellas, erotica novellas. I'm always kind of like, yeah, it's cool. Pretty steamy. Pretty good spicy times, I would say. I enjoyed it. But like, again, the plot is kind of like, I didn't care. I just didn't really care. So I gave it 3 stars. But again, for like the sexy times, those were pretty damn good sexy times, I would say. For me personally. Quite enjoyed. Then another DNF, but you may be shocked. This, I think, is a soft DNF for now. I think I was in like a weird headspace. That's why I kind of read these like novellas real quick, because I was just like, nothing was like grabbing me, and I just wasn't really feeling compelled to read a hell of a lot in one sitting. Like, I think I was still kind of having the book hangover from reading the Cemetery of Forgotten Books series, where I was just like, nothing is as good as that, and I just wasn't getting into anything. And I picked up this, which I own, The Ironworm Affair by Lilith St. Croix, and it's like historical, steampunk, paranormal, I believe, like magic, sorcery and things, romance, I think. And I enjoy that, all those things, and I like them put together too. Like the Parasol Protectorate series is one of my favorites and has all those elements. So that's why I was like, maybe I'll like this. I just wasn't getting into it though, but I wasn't disliking anything. And so I kind of just was like, you know what? I think I'm going to soft DNF this instead of hard DNF, because I do still think it's something I could enjoy. I think I just really was not paying attention, you know? I couldn't get into it. So I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to unhaul it. I'm just going to put it back on the shelf and try it again at a different time. One of the only times in my life that I soft DNF anything. Then I picked up Blood Sanctuary by Bella Roth. I feel like I started it a while ago. I don't remember. But this was book 3. Yes, book 3. Oh no, I didn't start it a while ago. It just felt like a continuation of the second book, which was, what, Blood Grace? It really was, like, just a continuation of book 2. Book 2 ends just like, oh, we're done? Okay. It feels like a part 1 and a part 2, for sure. And, like, book 1 was slow. And I mentioned that. I told you guys, it's really fucking slow. But it was slow in a way that worked for me. It was, like, so much build-up. delicious backstory, character development, all that fun stuff. And even though it was really slow, it worked for me. Book 2 was still pretty slow, but it was still, I was like, okay, it's still working for me, I think, mostly, all right? But then by book 3, it was not working for me anymore. I got 27% into this, and I was like, I can't, I don't care that much. The last book, like I said, book 2 was pretty slow and like nothing much happened in the plot, really. And this one was proving to be the exact same. And that 27%, that took me 15 days. That took me 2 weeks to get 27% into it. And every time I was reading it, my eyes were just completely glazing over. Every conversation was slow and long and drawn out. Every movement in the world was slow and long and drawn out. Every interaction with characters was slow and long and drawn out. And I was over it. I was interested in the world from the first book, and I do really enjoy the characters in the story still, even by this book. Like, I like the characters, but I'm just like, dude, I've realized about myself, obviously it's great to have a plot you love with characters that you just love, right? That is the fucking dream. But I need the plot. If I have characters that I love so much, but I don't like the plot, and I don't like the overall vibe of the story or whatever, I'm not gonna like the book. I probably won't finish the book. But I can have a plot that I am just eating up with characters that are fine. That I'm like, yeah, they're cool, they're whatever. And that's cool. I need the plot. So, DNFing the series. And then I got my copy a little while ago of the third book, fucking finally, in the Bells series, the third book being The Beauty Trials by Danielle Clayton. It has been several years. The first book came out in 2018, and then the second book came out in 2019. And then there's been no word since then. And I was like, are we getting book 3? I don't know. Like, did Danielle Clayton get pulled to do other projects, or did the second book not do well enough? Are they not publishing it? But it did get published. I don't know if it got picked up by someone else, because these first 2 books are freeform books, and the third one came out in a different cover, and they're redoing the first 2 covers, but like there's no third book that matches these. So and it's Disney Hyperion, I think, that like picked it up. So I assume that's what happened, is just Freeform Books wasn't gonna publish book 3, and so she got it picked up by Disney to publish that third one and reprint the first 2 with the new covers. So that's fun. Glad we finally got the third book. I went to go read it though, and I was like, I need to reread the first 2 because I kind of don't remember what happened. I did read them on audio, but I have them here. I love this cover so much. I don't love like people on covers necessarily, but the colors of this are so pretty. It's like shimmery pink, and then the inside has the map. Don't mind my thing. The map is bright pink. Oh God, so freaking pretty. Oh, I love it. The new covers are pretty cool too, though. I'll put them up here so you can see. I do like them. And I'll be getting the whole series probably in those covers if I like the third book. But yeah, anyway, reread The Bells on audio, and the first time I read this, I gave it 4.5 stars, and I debated giving it the same rating this time around, but currently I have it at 4.25 stars. I still love this world and the magic and everything, and I do like the character. The main villain here, Sophia, Princess Sophia, is like just chaotic, diabolical, psychotic, evil to her core. Like, just the nastiest bitch you've ever met. And I love that, but I wanted more of like the relationships, even just with Camellia and like her sisters, the other Bells and everything, and then with the like romance stuff going on too, but just all the relationships in general. When I was, rereading it, I just kind of wanted more there, I guess. But yeah, this is set in, it's like a version of our world. the Kingdom of Orleans, and it's a very like French Creole New Orleans vibe of like this kingdom they're in. And in this world, everyone is born gray. They call them the Gris. And people are born gray, like gray skin, gray hair, and like straw-like hair that's just like, ugh, like very unhealthy looking, dry as all get out, where it'll like fall out. And then red eyes. And then there are belles born every generation who are raised and trained to use their arcana, this magic they have them. They're born beautiful, and they have this arcana, this magic, where they can change people's looks. They can change people's skin color. They can change people's bone structure slightly. They can change your hair, texture, and color, and length, and all of that. And so there's all these beauty standards and beauty trends that happen every season, and people will pay good money to go to these tea houses and have these belles do beauty work on them and change their looks. They're like revered by all. Beauty is revered the most, and people who are Gris, the gray, they like go mad and crazy. So if you don't keep up on any beauty work at all to any degree, then there's the fear of like you're gonna go insane. And it's the coolest that there's teacup animals, there's teacup dragons, there's teacup monkeys, teacup elephants, teacup everything. And they're just so cute. I can't stand it. And just everything is like very lush and beautiful. And like I said, beauty is revered above all. But it is dark sometimes, like real dark. And like, it's all very surface level. When you dig down a little bit, this world is hideous on the inside. How they treat people, what's going on behind the scenes, we don't always know, but we find out, and it's nasty. They're nasty. And like I said, Princess Sophia is a truly diabolical villain, like very unsettling, where you're like, oh shit. So I really enjoyed it. Did still enjoy it on reread. Slightly lower rating. Not a lot, though. And then the second book, I also listened on audio, The Everlasting Rose. And this one I think has, a blue, blue map instead. The first time I read this, I actually gave it initially 3.5 stars, but then I bumped it up to 4. I think it was one of those situations of over time realizing like, no, I actually really like that. And I gave it 4 stars on reread. This one is a little slower, and like it is smaller too, like it's shorter. The plot felt a little bit meandering at times, where I'm kind of like, okay, are we doing something here? But I still enjoyed it, and I still enjoyed following Camellia and her various sisters. We get to meet and actually get to interact more with several of her sisters, Adel in particular, and I really, really enjoyed that. And just, again, this world, it's so decadent on the surface layer, and then just grimy underneath. And we learn a lot more about the world and the truth of certain things in this one. And I really like where it ended off. There's a revolution happening that Camellia gets kind of involved in. Not kind of, very involved in. And I really enjoyed, there is kind of a love triangle that could be set up. In the first book, there is a love interest who, for reasons, is not the love interest in the second book, in this one. And in this one, we have a different love interest. The love interest in this book is present in the first one, but he's very much not a love interest in the first book. He's just a guy that's there. And, like, a friendship develops a bit, for sure. Like, they enjoying each other's company or whatever, and, like, respect and just whatever, a little friendship is developing, but it's not romantic at all in the first book. And then it starts to become romantic here. And then homeboy from the first book pops back in. And again, it's like that setup of like, oh no, are we now going to have a love triangle? And we do not. And I really liked how she did it, because it's a situation of betrayal has happened. Without spoiling anything, there is some betrayal, and our main character is getting an apology. And she's kind of just like, thanks, but we're done here. Like, appreciate the apology, but no, I'm out. And I really liked that. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen in the third book. if in the third book it's gonna become more of a love triangle. I kind of hope it doesn't, though. I really hope it doesn't. But anyways, yeah, enjoyed. And this is one where, like I was saying, I don't love these characters. They're cool. Camellia is a cool main character. I like her. I don't dislike her or anything. She doesn't annoy me ever or anything like that. But I'm just not like, oh my god. And the series in general, at least these first 2 books that I've read, it's not one that, like, I want to scream from the rooftops about, all-time favorite. But I just think it's really solid, and I just think it's underhyped. I think it's underrated, I guess. Like, I think it's really unique, I suppose. And it's young adult, and I enjoy it still. So, I don't know. I just think more people should give it a shot. Oh, there was another DNF in between those 2. A Very English Murder by Verity Bright. It was a Kindle Unlimited historical cozy mystery English countryside type of thing. I thought, because it sounded sort of similar of like the Lady Hardcastle series, I'm like, oh, that's like a genre I seem to enjoy. Let me try more. And this one, like, it wasn't bad. I just could not stop myself from comparing it to Lady Hardcastle. And I like the writing style in the Lady Hardcastle series way more. The dialogue, like, it's so funny. And this one, again, it wasn't bad. I wasn't having a bad time reading it, but I was just like, it's not like as funny as Lady Hardcastle. So that's why I DNF'd it. And there we go. I'm done. Oh my god. I feel like I just had so many books to talk about because I haven't done a video in forever. It's fine. If you've read any of these, or DNF'd any of these, or have any interest in any of these, let me know down below what your thoughts are. And if you have interest, or had interest, do you still? Have I said anything to sway you one way or the other? Let me know. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.